And what a game that was. The Seattle Seahawks came up with a very close victory, 29-26 against the Washington Redskins. I mean Commanders, sorry. Nah, I'm not sorry at all. Anyways, before I get into this video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get this channel growing as I do talk about not only the Mariners baseball, but I also talk about Seahawks football. Now let's get into it. So yes, Seahawks won 29-26. This was a very intense game. Now, unfortunately, I did not watch the entire game. I just watched the highlights because hashtag don't quit your day job. But here's how it started. So when I saw it, I saw that Washington scored right at first with Brian Robinson's touchdown run, which was a little pass by Sam Howell. But Washington failed to make the extra point. And then throughout the entire first half, it was pretty much just an ugly standstill where both teams just didn't really go to the end zone. And what was really infuriating in that first half, there were several opportunities for Geno Smith to score those touchdowns, but never happened. But luckily, Jason Myers was there to pretty much bail him out throughout the entire game with 5 field goals. He had a fantastic game as a field goal kicker. Now, although the offensive line was bad, I did at least like that Geno Smith did at least utilize, or the offense at least went for more screen passes, which did turn out to be very useful in the second half because one of those small dump-off passes went to Kenneth Walker, and he ran all the way for the touchdown. But after that, it was pretty much just a back-and-forth game where the Commanders were scoring, and then the Seahawks would score. And then eventually, towards the very end, we saw Geno Smith. He had a nice little drive to get Tyler Lockett to score the touchdown. And then, unfortunately, the defense just absolutely fell apart, where Sam Howell he nearly threw a pick, and they kind of nearly lost the game, but then Sam Howell eventually threw a very easy touchdown pass, which the defense they just got absolutely carved up. Even with Witherspoon, even with Jamal Adams, they still just got absolutely just abused. I mean, we saw both quarterbacks throwing 300 plus yards, so this was pretty much a shootout in the very end. But then eventually, in that very final drive, Geno Smith threw 2 nice passes to DK Metcalf, and DK Metcalf actually did play a little bit of a better game. He didn't get to the end zone, which would have been nice because he is my fantasy football guy. But those were 2 great passes. Now, the one that I got really nervous about when I saw the highlights was when DK Metcalf, when he caught the second pass in that game-winning drive, he just wouldn't go down. He was just trying to fight for extra yards, but the clock was ticking down and the Seahawks didn't have any timeouts. But luckily, Geno Smith was able to at least get in position to spike the ball, leading for Jason Myers to kick that field goal, and the Seahawks would win the game. Ugh, it was very close. Now, I did watch at least the last few seconds of that moment since I had a breather throughout work. But man, that game really shouldn't have, I don't know. Now, keys to the game. Jason Myers, amazing with the field goal. I mean, Geno Smith, yeah, he threw his 369 yards, but I still felt that knowing that Washington defense is not great this season, I do feel the Seahawks could have scored a little bit more, and had they scored a little bit more, maybe the Washington Commanders wouldn't have scored as much because the defense wouldn't have been on the field for so long, especially in that first half where that really did cause that wear and tear. But yeah, like defense just wasn't there for the Seahawks, and then you had the Washington Commanders just scoring at will. But at least the Seahawks, they did get their win out of it. Now, the bad news is the San Francisco 49ers absolutely destroyed the Jacksonville Jaguars, so that means the Seattle Seahawks still lead the San Francisco 49ers still lead the division, so hopefully the Seahawks not only win and the 49ers lose, but hopefully the Seahawks, when they host the 49ers on Thanksgiving, that they will win that game. so they can win the division. Because I truly believe, now, despite that, I don't really think Geno Smith is the guy to help the Seahawks get to the Super Bowl. I at least think that this team is at least good and competent enough to at least win the division. I do believe that. But Geno Smith has got to get stuff done, at least in the first half or so. I mean, I know there's that. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. But there are critical times where he's on third downs, he's got to convert those. Because we did see those earlier where he failed to convert anything against the Ravens and the Bengals game, where they really should have won that game. And had the Seahawks just won that game, they would be running away with the division by at least one game. But other than that, which I say that term, other than that, all the time, it was nice that the Seahawks did get that win, but I would love to see the offense be a little bit more polished, at least in the first half, so they don't have to play too much catch up in the second half. And that defense, I guess it still needs a lot of work. Like, we thought that this was going to be at least a decent passing defense, but I guess not so much, especially when you're giving up yardages to Sam Howell. But those are my thoughts. And going into next week, they will be playing against the Los Angeles Rams. And hopefully the Seahawks can find a way to come up with a victory, especially in Los Angeles, where they will be looking for some revenge because they did lose in the home opener against the Rams. And the 49ers, great. They'll be hosting the Buccaneers at home, so the Seahawks absolutely have to win that game. But that's going to do it for me on my quick post-game thoughts. If you liked this video, or if you thought I was being a buffoon or just whatever, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and thanks for watching.